Right, good afternoon, Paavai Engineering College. My name is Vinod Siani. I'm the CEO of EducateMe Group, and we'll be hosting and taking you through a webinar that we are taking you through with ESAIP University, which is located in France. So we'll take you through this seminar. We have a number of slides to take you through, and we have our IT team in the background who will be taking us through on the IT. Okay, about us. Next slide, please. So EducateMe Group is an education organization. It's a consultancy for students which give rounded support for those who are interested in international study abroad. What do? Our aim is to make quality education more accessible to students around the world. So we work with lots of countries: Africa, Nigeria, Oman, Middle East, and of course, India. Thank you. Next slide, please. When you look at study abroad opportunities, it's always important to look at who you are using to help you achieve your aspiration to overseas study. And of course, there are many organizations, education consultants, but who do you choose? You should choose those that are award-winning. They definitely know what they're doing. EducateMe has won a number of awards. It's already accredited with a number of institutions, and you can see the badges at the bottom. And I myself, I have been in the industry sector for 37 years. So I believe we are one of the leading institutions that are not paralleled by not a lot of organizations that do this service to students. Next slide, please. As a parent, of course, you want to make sure that who you use to give you guidance, to give you advice, it's a big choice, and you should make sure that you do some of your background checks. Ensure that the organization you are going to use to help you achieve your goal is an organization that's bona fide, it's trustworthy. So EducateMe, for one, does not charge you any application fee or guidance fee. Do we collect any money from you for helping you being placed at a university, be it France, be it United Kingdom? We don't. So our entire services in counseling you, preparing your application, collecting your documents, making your application to the university, and having that engagement to the university about you and you being engaged where your application is, etc. That entire service is free of cost. There is no money for you to pay to EducateMe when it comes to putting your application to the university. You can pay university fees through student loans, and the government of India have recently become very flexible in giving you these types of loans. And then there's a number of banks who are doing these loans nowadays. Another reason why you should use EducateMe Group and why Paavai should be encouraging you to use a bona fide organization is our partnerships with organizations such as One Vasco, or VFS as they used to be known. VFS is the government body between the United Kingdom and a number of other countries, in fact, 89 government countries, where they act as the middle organization between India and the immigration of the other country, more so to the university, for your visa application. And so by us being guided by VFS, One Vasco, it means you're in really safe hands, because it means that your application for your visa, when you submit it, is being actually checked, and you do get that service as well included as part of your application. Another reason is student circus. I appreciate this is France, where we don't have that employment support, but the university has got a really great opportunity and support in helping students find employment locally. So in the UK, we do have an opportunity where we collaborate with an organization called Student Circus, and that collaboration allows us to find employment for international students. And that's part of our service. And again, there is no fee to pay. So you actually also get a further advantage by having an opportunity to find employment. And often that roadmap can begin whilst you're in India. We do offer classes, English classes, IELTS training, English coaching for you, but that is a chargeable service. And I'll talk about that later on. It's a minimal fee compared to what is out there. And we do offer other add-ons, such as airport pickups and accommodation and transport accommodation services. That, again, is also organized locally and somewhat with the university as well. Next slide, please. So I want to talk to you about a unique offer that we're having running at the moment. And this is for students who are wanting to apply for the coming September intake. Now, of course, when you apply to a university, all the teaching is done in English. And of course, as part of the application, you have to remember that your communicative skills is going to be checked for English proficiency. Can you communicate in English? If I were to ask you questions, can you articulate and give me a return in your answers and be articulate about it? If I asked you to do a test, a handwriting test, are you able to articulate that really well? Have you listened and I gave you a check and I asked you, right, can you listen to this recording and then tell me what you've heard? And again, can you articulate that? Because all of your exams, assessments are all going to be done in English. Assignment writing, doing presentations, and of course, exams. All of that will be done in English. So one must make sure that you have a really good English communicative skill. And for that, preparation for your university and any exam that you may have to do, we are offering this IELTS PTE course. The courses at the moment are being advertised for 4,999 rupees, 5,000 rupees. And the great thing is that if you do your application through us, then we will give you that 5,000 rupees back. So you actually get this course completely free. And it's wonderful because it allows you to have this qualification and this training, and it will be as part of your journey. Next slide, please. So I'm now going to hand you over to our colleagues at ESAIP Engineering. So Marine, over to you, please.
So I'm Marine and I work at ESAIP, a prestigious engineering school in France, as you said. So as a promotion and recruitment officer. And today I will introduce our school, the training programs offered, and how to get admission. So the next slide is about ESAIP, which is specialized in engineering school. And its mission is to train engineers in the fields of computer science and health, safety, and environment. But today we will only focus on computer science, and it's only for engineers who are open to the world and society. So we train them for that. ESAIP, it's about our two campuses, the one in Angers and the other one in Aix-en-Provence. So you can see the difference with Paris, the capital. And we will focus only today on Angers because it's not about Aix-en-Provence. Angers is about like 1.5 hours from Paris, so it's doable. Just to let you know that we have several campuses in France. So we are a specialized engineering school. We train engineers in the field of study I said before, so computer and science. Today I'm going to talk about the MSc program, the Master of Science with Cybersecurity and Data Science, which is the one interesting for you guys. It's the 2 years of studies. It's entirely taught in English, which is important and accessible for you. You will complete several internships and have access to a wide range of courses that will enable you to become specialized in these special fields, which is actually really interesting. And it offers 30 SCTS credits per semester. So you have to attend the courses. It's mandatory to do all the internships and to do the 2 years of studies. So here is a close-up of all the courses we offer. So for the master cycle, the first year and the second one. So it's a wide range of courses that will enable you to become specialist in cybersecurity and data field. We also have artificial intelligence. You will have several project management group to do as well. The international culture. So this is the 2 years program for the master cycle. And we want you to choose a meaningful program that's really important for us to provide careers of the future. By choosing this program, you'll join an engineering grande école and benefit from its environment. So it's only academic excellence, innovative teaching methods, business expertise as well. And we really think it's important for you. You will have access to the network also with the alumni, the companies, also the international partners. And we provide all of this and everything for you. And throughout your course of study, you will follow a high-level curriculum as well, which is also important, that will enable you to enter the professional world and quickly. And that's why we have a cybersecurity innovative hub, which is called CIH. And for example, example, its facility comprises 3 cybersecurity simulation rooms. We have the attack room, we have the defense and the surveillance. So the students can train to cybersecurity attacks. So that's an example which is interesting and important because it's stimulating. We have renowned companies, which is also nice for you students to do your internships. And now how to apply for ESAIP, ESAIP. We have several ways to enter the school, but the main one is by Campus France. I think you already know this one because it's the platform to obtain your visa. It's mandatory, but I think you already know it. You will need at least a bachelor's level 3 or 4, it depends. So you can see them on the screen on the slide. It could be Bachelor of Science, could be technology, engineering, as well as computer application. But you also need at least professional experiences. That's important for us, for you guys to have experiences in this field. You complete the application on our website. So you have the QR code right on the screen, so you can take a picture of it. The next intake is in 2025 in October. This is the next one. We have the February one, but it's almost done and almost full. So the next one will be in October. You fill out your online application form, then you upload all your documents. Could be your updated resume, your cover letter, and all your grades. Then you'll have your academic file evaluation, and then the administration process starts. So this is how it works at ESAIP. I also added the tuition fees, which is also important for you to know. It's amount fees to 8,790 euros per year. So you will have to pay this twice.
Hi, Alicia, this side from EducateMe Group. The application process will happen through us. So the students will be connecting with us for the application process, and that's how we'll submit it to the ESAIP University for them.
Okay, so you will talk about the process for them. It's first with you and then with us.
Yes.
They will need also the Campus France application, right?
Yes, we have that process. We have that.
Okay, it's included in your, yeah, okay. It's a process which takes time, so I recommend starting well in advance to get all the documents as well as the visa. It could take time, so the sooner the better. So that was the slide for the application, the requirements. And now I wanted to finish, last but not least, with the French way of life, if I can call it like this. Living in France is expensive, it's written, yes, but you really need to take in account that you won't have only the tuition fees to pay. You will have the housing, the food, your transportation subscriptions, the phone one, as well as the banking one, and the health insurance. It's not because you have your Indian health insurance that you will only use it in France. In France, you will need, and it's mandatory for all the French students to subscribe to health insurance. So it's also important to know that because it's not only the education tuition that you have to pay, even if you have your loan and everything with the Indian bank, accommodations are really expensive here. It's not about Paris because you'll be in Angers, but residences could cost, I wrote some examples, like between 150 and 300 per month. You can have a studio or a shared apartments. It depends, but it's still important to take this in account. We also have partnerships with some groups, like the residences we have next to the school in Angers. So you can take these pictures, the QR code we print, which is in the screen. So yes, take this into account that living in France is a cost, and we don't want you to have issues with finding accommodation, transportation, and things like that. So yeah, I wanted to have like a slide talking about this. So yes, here is the final slide. I hope it was understandable and you had all the information. And if you have questions or further information you want to know, let me know. I will try to respond to all your questions, guys.
Thank you, Marine. Merci.
You're welcome.
Right, Merci, I have some questions that I would like to ask on behalf of our students. Now, our students are based in an auditorium, and I'm sure a number of them have questions. However, between us, I think we're quite used to those questions, and we could probably predict the kind of questions that they're going to ask.
Okay. So you take the lead and
So I'm going to take the lead, and I hope the questions that I'm asking and the answers that you are going to give them will probably already give them a lot of confidence, and they can probably tick off those answers because it's going to be well informative. So the first question I'm going to ask is, what makes ESAIP different from others? Why should they consider you amongst other universities that are also in France?
Yes. So ESAIP is a great establishment that offers extensive training. You have several courses, like I said, a wide range of courses. So that's why we recommend students from abroad to join ESAIP. It's also multicultural, which is interesting actually, because you have the possibility to do an MSc, the master program. You have the possibility to do your internships, to study abroad as well with Erasmus. I don't know if you have this kind of process in India, but we allow students to study abroad. It's included in the program because French students are not fluent, or at least they need to train in English, but you guys don't need it. So yes, we have a wide range of courses. We allow students to do several internships per year. Our establishment, the ESAIP one, offers extensive training.
Okay,
So
thank you. What about work opportunities? If I am a student, I of course will want to support myself. I don't want to rely on my parents all the time. So
yes.
what kind of money would I be earning? And the monthly earnings that I will earn, would I be able to safely stay? And would I be able to cover the costs of my living, my travel, and perhaps have a little bit cash to enjoy?
Yeah, as I said, I wanted to talk about with the French way of life, which is really expensive, the accommodation and everything. We don't have several students has loans with the Indian banks. In France, it's not possible. We don't have partnerships like this, so it's important to take into account that the cost is expensive.
But what would be the monthly salary? I mean, I assume also France, as a student, I am allowed to work 20 hours a week. Is that correct? During term time?
Yes. You said 20?
Yes, is that correct?
Yes. Or you can go like up to 25. It depends. And if you have the chance to find a job, but it's doable.
What would I earn per hour? Do you have a calculator?
Okay, yeah. I don't know if you can transfer it to rupees, but in euros, it's around like 13 euros
Right.
per hour.
Per hour. Okay. All
Yes,
right.
exactly.
Fine. So I'm sure a number of them will be able to calculate that.
You can earn like around 400 euros per month.
It would be more than that. It would be more than that. If you're earning 13 euros an hour, and if you do 10 hours, that's already 130. So in a week, you're going to do 20 hours. So you would be earning in the region of 260 euros in a week. So I think you'll be touching something like 920 euros.
Actually, no, because the 13 euros you will earn is like not the real amount you will have in your pocket, if I can say that, because you have charges. The French government takes charges. So it's a bit annoying, but it's not the fully price you will have at the end. It's not 13, it's like around 9. And because when you work in an engineering school in France, you don't have that much time to study and to work. It's doable, but you also have to find actually a French company which works also in English. It's complicated in France to find this, but we usually try to integrate our international students, actually everyone in the campus, but it's not the first thing they try to do to find like a job.
Sure.
It's really hard to find it. Even for French students, it's hard to get a job. So the priority for international students, I won't say it's not, but it's complicated. Yeah.
Okay, all right. A few more questions, please. So the master's program is 2 years, is that correct?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. In those 2 years, will the student be placed on any placement or internship?
Yeah, they will have to do internships. For example, the last intake, the October 2024 intake, the MSc program, they will have their internships from May to August this year. So we're having complications to find a place to work, but they have 3 months of internship for the 2 years, so it's 6 months. And if they want to do more than 6 months, they can. It's doable. We allow them to have like around 8 or 10 months. So during 2 years, it's actually good opportunities for them to work in a French company. It could be a multinational company. It could be bigger group than a French one. But yeah, they have this opportunity to work in a real company and in this field of study.
Very good. And is it going to be ESAIP's responsibility to find an internship for every student?
We help them to find it because we have partnerships with different companies. We don't provide everything, but we help them to find it. The purpose of this is helping them through this process. So we will give them all the company's name. We will give them like following. I don't know how to call that, but we will follow them, and help them to find it. But we won't find it like in the real way of
right.
we
And
will
are
help
these
them, yeah.
are these internships free, or does the student earn any money from it?
Because it's 3 months, they will earn money. It's mandatory in France, it's depending on the company. But because if it's 3 months, as I explained, it was from May till August, almost 4 months actually, they will earn money. It's mandatory. They will earn around, the minimum is like 500 euros per month. So it will cover the cost of the accommodation, for example.
Sure. Thank you. And what are the chances after the student has completed their MSc?
The 2
What
years
are the
program,
chances? Yeah, their 2-year program. What is the chances of staying on in France? Would I get PR? And are there any tax goodwill opportunities from the France government for skills shortages?
Actually, it's important to know that after 2 years of MSc program, they will obtain a 5 years level, which is actually really nice in France. It's really important to have this 5 years to study in France and then to work in France. If they choose to stay in the French territory, it will be actually really easy for them to find a job. Also because it's in cybersecurity mostly and data science. So this is a good field to find a job and to continue their career in this field if they want to stay in France. So they will have to pay taxes. I don't know how long they want to stay in France after their studies. We can imagine that after the 2 years program, they find a job in a good company in Paris, for example, in the capital.
Yeah.
They will have to pay taxes after 1 year working in France.
Oh,
so
good.
it will the French government will calculate everything with this first year. They won't calculate the studies the student is doing for 2 years because they have the student visa. But once the studies are finished and they obtain the diploma, they will have to get another visa to work in France and then pay taxes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's really good that the government is, well, firstly, it's a way of filling the skills gap, which which many countries need right now, including the United Kingdom. So it's a really good way that the French government is giving 5-year visa. And of course, after that 5-year visa, and they have been working, there is a chance of then getting PR, isn't it?
Yes, because it's a possibility, but if they obtain their MSc program, the master one with the 30 credits, as I was talking about earlier, they have this possibility. If they stay in France, in the territory, they can obtain this, and then they, as you said, can get...
One last question. Am I allowed to bring my dependents with me if I am on my 2-year visa?
What is a dependent? Sorry.
So if I am married, can I bring my wife and my daughter, for example?
Oh, actually, I don't know if I have the answer for that because I'm not working at the administrative French government. So I do know that we have a student, actually, who is not a student anymore, but his wife is at ESAIP and he's now working as a cybersecurity analyst.
Right.
He have done all his studies at ESAIP. Now he's working in cybersecurity in Paris, and his wife is doing our program.
It sounds like once you get an employment after you have completed the 2 years,
then afterwards you can
change your visa and then get applications for your dependents. So that's the way normally it works.
I didn't want it to confirm because I wasn't sure, but as you said, maybe right after you get your job and the visa, then you can.
Sure. That's great. I'm now going to open up to the auditorium now, and let's hear if they have any questions, perhaps, that we haven't covered already.
Yeah, sure.
So, Cassandra and team, over to you on the ground now, please.
Vinod, Dr. Raja has a question.
Sure. Go ahead, please.
Just want to understand that students who are in different bachelor stream, those are studying civil engineering, agriculture engineering, pharmaceutical engineering, electrical engineering, do they have options to do masters there in their respective course of study in bachelors there and masters?
Wait, you were asking if you have different bachelors, you can enter the MSc program, right?
Yeah, you have been mentioning that MSc in cybersecurity and data science.
Yeah.
So what are the different master's program you have in your university?
The English one is the MSc program, the Master of Science, Cybersecurity and Data Science. It's the only one we have taught in English. So that's why it was the only one I was showing on screen, because the others are in French. So you'll need to have a good French level. And at least, maybe if it's the case, you can apply for all the other one. But that's why I was presenting the English one, the MSc Cybersecurity and Data Science.
And Melis,
Yeah.
a student who has done bachelor's in agriculture engineering or various streams, they can also do masters in cybersecurity and data science, right?
Something relevant to the same would be there for them, okay, and we'll be helping them out because most of the engineers do switch their stream from bachelor's. But if they have something similar, which they've
Similar
studied,
background, right?
that will
But
help.
if they learn French here and then if they get certified in French, probably they can take the other course in masters there. Is it possible?
Yes, basic French language is also possible. Also, we have seen students who have taken the course, enrolled in the English course in France, simultaneously with their master's course. They also join the French classes offered by the universities itself. So that's how they also learned French, basic communication, day-to-day communication with the faculty and the community people there. So they do that. They also join the French classes along with their course there. And
So
university
what is the course fee, master's course fee?
basic average tuition fee in Marine, I think it starts with 8,750 euros with ESAIP, right?
It's 8,790 euros per
That's
year.
for
So
1 year, right?
exactly, yeah, it is.
And any scholarships for these students are Indian students?
In France, unfortunately, in private schools you can't obtain any scholarships. You have it's not scholarships, but for example, you have money from the state French government, your accommodation. But regarding the program and the courses and the school, you can't have anything because it's a private school. If it would have been in a public one, it's possible, but because it's a public one, we don't have this. But for all the schools in France, actually,
Will
it's
they
not
be getting
only
any stipend or
sorry,
do
what
they
did you
have any
say?
opportunity to work in?
To get money, like working
Yeah.
as a student. Yeah, it's possible and it's doable, but I won't lie, it's harder for international students because you have to speak French for that. I don't know, for example, you can work in a cafe, in a grocery store. It's example, but for that you will need to speak French.
Yeah, can they work as a research associate or kind of work which can be provided in the university itself? Will they be getting any opportunity?
Usually we don't do that because the program is intense. You will have a lot of courses, so usually students can't. It's doable, but it's really hard to do your studies and then work, like as you said, 20 hours a week. It's a lot and it's doable, but I won't recommend to work that much, at least.
So the program starts in October 2025. First
Yeah,
year.
not sure, but it's
Okay.
beginning of October. So you still have time to apply and still have time to find maybe a company to work for if you want to earn money. It's also doable. We can provide a list, for example, of companies that will maybe take students for working there. But yeah, maybe you can start searching for this like right now. And the sooner the better. Yeah.
Turnaround time once the application is submitted to ESAIP and how much time the student will receive the offer?
It depends. Usually it's around 1 week to evaluate the file, but it depending with my colleagues because they also have several other things to do, that they attend classes, they are doing courses, but usually it's around 1 week for evaluating the file. Then I'll send all the final documents, the acceptance letter and everything. And then the process is a bit long with Campus France and obtaining the visa. So it could take around 1 month for the evaluation of the application, then getting all the acceptance letter, and then having an appointment with the embassy. So it could take like a month. Maybe you can confirm that, Alifa?
Yep, I get it. So Dr. Raja, what she's saying is correct. If it's October, we need to make an application immediately in the month of April, May. But for
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
in the month of May.
And if I can add something, for example, if you want to get into the next intake, which is October, it's also maybe good for you to apply, like as you said, around April, because then you'll have to find an accommodation. And in summer, it's really hard to find it because all the French students are looking at the same thing, which is a place to live, because all the courses are starting in September. So everyone is looking for a place to live during this period of time. So yeah, I recommended to do it like really quickly to obtain a lot of chance to find a place to live.
All right.
Okay. And one more question. After
Yeah.
completing the master's, will you provide any job opportunity? Do you conduct any
Yeah.
recruitment process?
Yeah,
Job
actually,
op-
yes. As I said, we have partnerships with big companies in France. So you do your internships maybe in these kind of companies because we have the list and we provide the contacts of all these companies. So if you want to do, for example, your internships during the program, you can have then access to a post in the
During the
company.
internship, will they be paid?
Yes, it's mandatory because it's 3 months. It's mandatory in France to pay the students for 3 months internship, and then you can be recruited in the
What is the
company right
what
after
is the highest
your.
package will they be getting after completing their masters? If they get a job opportunity in France in the company that provide, what is the
The
salary?
highest salary you can have after getting the diploma
Yeah.
of actually it depends of the
Yes.
company. Usually when
I can
you
understand, but roughly I'm
yeah,
asking
yeah,
the
a
highest
range.
package of some
Yeah, an average. It could be around 45,000 euros per year.
45,000 euros per year.
Yeah, so per month, 3,700, something like that per month, which is actually really nice. It's more than my salary, for example. So you can live properly with this amount of money, like 3,000 in France. Actually, depending on the city where you're living, for example, in Angers, it's really nice to have this salary. And then if you go to Paris, which is the capital, obviously it's more expensive. The salaries are bigger and better. So yeah, depending on the country, depending on the cities and the companies, you have to take all those things into
Okay.
account.
Thank you, Melis. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Marine, I have a question here. Could you please just cover up the academic requirement required for engineering students for masters, any master's course, the academic requirements that ESAIP would take into, plus the entry requirement if English is any for IELTS, then you can please also cover that. I think those two slides were just missed out. This is the process of how to apply.
Yes, but regarding the requirements, we don't really need, for example, admission attestation for the program because we do know that you fluently speak English. So we don't really need something to prove it, but we do need your diploma, the bachelor diploma.
How much percentage are you accepting the academic percent for international students, exclusively Indian students? Is there a bracket of 50%, 55% as such?
Oh, yes, more than 50% actually, because the Indian students are actually, for example, for 30 students in the program, it could be like 20 Indian people. So it's more than 50%.
Okay, that's 55 plus in the last academy.
Yeah.
Do you also accept backlogs?
Bachelors?
Yeah,
But they have to have 3 years degrees for that.
correct.
If-
But then they will have to clear the backlogs, but it will be showing on their certificate, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they do need to prove it that they get the diploma of the bachelor.
Okay, get it, fine. And the age limit for the students to apply in ESAIP, any kind of age limit there? Till 30, 35, or do you have certain age limits decided for these students?
Hi, Alifia. I don't believe there is an age limit. Okay. I've never heard of an age limit. Normally it would be about 55, 60.
All right.
Okay. Well, I think if I can just come in now, I hope you have all enjoyed this webinar with our French counterparts, ESAIP. We have had a number of questions asked, and thank you for Mr. Raj coming in and asking those questions on behalf of Paavai institutions. Students, I hope you have found this really useful. Some things to take away. Applications need to start in the month of April. I guess that's when you get your final year results. So it would tie in with that. Can I ask my staff there, Cassandra and Martin, can we have a show of hands, please, from the students? How many found this webinar useful? And would you like more webinars like this with other universities? Can I have a show of hands, please? So Martin, can you take a picture, please? Because we can't see how many students there are. And can somebody do a count, please?
All right, students, so this is the process how we will be helping you to make your application. We have an inquiry form, okay? You will be asked to fill in this inquiry form. To know more about us, you can visit our company website, www.educateme.group, and the code or fill in the link given below on this slide, which will be directing you to the student application form. It's a basic information form giving you information about your profile. But tomorrow you will be getting call from our expert counselors who will take you through all this process, also help you with different options related to your choices of university and courses that you're looking to study in international universities abroad. Okay. We have some testimonials of our successful students who have made it to different countries and university through us. We'll just play one or two for your reference so that you can come to know about the success.
Want to study abroad? Then I have something for you. It's EducateMe Global. I chose EducateMe Global as my foreign partner to apply for foreign universities in UK, as they are taking care of everything right from counseling, by choosing your university, applying to them, and also helping you throughout the visa process. I want to thank Sumita ma'am and Sanjana ma'am, who were always there for me right from the beginning of my process. And I also want to thank Vinod sir, who is the CEO of EducateMe Global, who was always supporting me. Thank you.
Great. So this is one of a student who made it to a good university abroad last year, and this was his testimonial for EducateMe Group. We want to see many more coming from Paavai, guys. So please enroll with us. Tomorrow you'll get call with the expert counselors and we'll take it further. Look for this opportunity. Consider France as one of the opportunity to make career abroad, and we'll be there to help you. Thank you so much. Vinod, Cassandra says 50% raise their hands in the auditorium who look for an opportunity for France and have liked the webinar.
Great news. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, Deepa Shah has raised a question here. Also, Vishwa V.
Yes, go ahead.
Marine, are you there? I think it's a question to accept. So, Deepa, can you type down your question here? And we have Relam.
May I ask, is it possible for Cassandra to be on WhatsApp on a call to you, Alifia?
Yeah.
And she holds the phone to the student. And that way you just hold the phone close to your computer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Should we try that technology?
Yes. Vinod, Cassie says students don't have any questions. Dr. Raja have asked all relevant questions in place of the student. Okay. All right, Cassie.
Okay. Well, I think we can call this meeting to an end, the webinar. Thank you, everyone, please, for participating. And thank you, IT team and those on the ground, Cassandra and Martin, and Alifia yourself. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you for your participation. Have a good evening.
Thank you for
evening. Bye.
invitation. Bye. Thank you.